The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic.
Hey, how are you?
I am doing fine, Crystal. Today we don't have any guests in the studios, but we're going to talk about some great topics like organizational charts.
And we're going to talk about Black history.
And we're going to talk about Black history as well, talk about wealth within the Black community and how we can go about garnering that wealth. So
yeah,
we're going to talk about some good stuff. So, Crystal.
We are. This morning I was at the Edison Black History Month event.
Oh, okay. How did that go?
It was excellent. It was right here in my own little backyard.
Really?
It wasn't in Rosemead. It wasn't urban.
I didn't even know about that.
They don't tell you?
No. They don't tell me anything.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, they do a...
They sent you an invitation?
Because we're community partners, right? And so they every year they do a big community thing, and usually it's in Rosemead at that training center out there.
Yeah.
But this year it was in Inglewood.
So see, you guys are getting priority over me.
Yeah, you work for them, and we got some priority over you. And so it was good.
What did they talk about?
They honored a couple of their I guess suppliers, and then they honored a couple of their suppliers. Then they had a panel talking about supporting Black businesses and Black businesses supporting each other, and capital for businesses and things like that. And RBD got a shout out because there was a couple of people that stood up. There's a young lady that I'm going to have on the show. She has a business called IQ Clean Tech, I think. So she's a CEO, one of the youngest CEOs for this company. Right. So I'm going to reach out to her. I'm going to I got someone that used to be the director for California Art Museum. She and her husband is going to come in and talk about trademark and intellectual property visual arts, and her husband's in the music business. So they're going to come in and talk about those entities that are on that we need to talk about as far as trademarking your intellectual property.
Right.
So she's excited. So I made a lot of connections, but one of the things that they were talking about is one person stood up. It's like, well, I don't know how to find the Black businesses.
Yeah.
So, when I walk into a room, everybody know I'm there because that's the purpose. They got to know I'm there. I cannot be in a room where you don't know I'm in the room.
That's what I'm talking about.
And so when that person said that, people were waving their hand and pointing, and then I was waving my hand.
That's great.
And then
means you got some recognition.
I got the recognition to let them know Recycling Black Dollars is here. We can tell you. And if it's not in this book, then between me and Jackie, we can tell you where they are.
That's right. I like that.
And so folks was running over wanting the book.
Yeah. That's good.
And so that was really pretty cool.
All right. So did you sell a few copies?
Well, we had taken the book to hand out to strategic.
As free
to the ones that a couple of our sponsors were there. So our advertisers that advertise
them with a few copies.
Yeah. So now we got some people coming to the meeting, and the book is also going to be. So the new resource guide, I don't even have a copy because Jackie handed them out.
Oh, okay.
But the new resource guide has been published. Yeah. And we are on the cover of the new resource guide this year is our legacy businesses. So we have the Doolins, which is a legacy business.
On the cover?
On the cover of the book. We have Jeanette. She actually runs the 27th Street Bakery.
Right.
And we have the Sentinel.
Oh, very good.
And I can't remember the other two. Oh, the Bowers Cleaners. They've been in the community for.
Oh, they are one of those new people who just got a street named after them.
Right, they got a street name. We were there for that. Hi, Naja. Hey, Karen. So yeah, they did a street name after them in November.
Yes.
So they're all on the cover of Gracie, and they're going to be at our meeting on Tuesday.
Very good.
Which is at Denny's at 8:00. It's our second Tuesday of the month networking event. Come on out. We will have books available there for you. So
very good. That sounds good. Sounds like you created a decent splash there at that event.
I created a splash. I like that. A splash.
A decent splash.
Because that's what it's about for Black History Month. How do
Danielle Lawson, welcome to the Business Zone. Thank you for watching, my brother. I really appreciate it. And you said you might get a deal soon. Give us a call. Let us know what type of deal that is. If it's a record deal or what type of deal it is. You don't have to tell us with whom, since you haven't signed on the dotted line yet. But give us a call. We're promoting Black businesses this month. This is Black History Month. And, of course, with us, Black History goes for 12 months. So it's going to be all year long.
Right.
So
we appease them by letting them think that we all right with 1 month. Now, if you Black, it should be going on every single day, all day long. But we'll appease the population. We're happy. Yeah. Let me tell you, our new website is up.
Oh, really now?
Yeah.
I want to see it.
So for anyone, go to the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert.com. And up in the corner, you can watch us live because it's clicked into where you need to go.
Wow.
So, and it's 3-4 different places that you can find it. So you cannot say you can't find it. You can see it in real time.
Yes.
Both of us.
Right.
I mean, it's great. Want to book? Naja, just come to the breakfast meeting on Tuesday. You can get the book, or go to Malik's next week.
Right.
So anyway, so we're excited. I'm excited about that.
Good.
It looks good. I still got some pieces. There's some other pieces that got to be added.
How do they log in? They go to www.thebusinesszone
with Crystal and Gilbert.
With Crystal and Gilbert. So that's how you get to our new website, folks. You want to go to www.thebusinesszone with Crystal and Gilbert.com. And you'll see some amazing things. We'll even have some amazing giveaways on it.
Crystal we're going to do some giveaways.
Yeah, we're going to give away some consulting time and, other things, other tools that you guys can use. So check it out. We're going big with this thing. We're going international. Daniel, you give us a call, okay? 323-293-3375. Give us a call here in the studios.
Hey, Ronnie. Welcome to the Business Zone. Yeah, so I'm excited. It took a little minute.
Oh, that's great.
It actually took me longer to get it connected to the domain name, so I had to get some assistance. But now we are live, so now we have a website. We're going to be able to work with some Google AdWords because I got a lot of verbiage on it, and I just it's a site that I'm proud of.
Yeah. You should be proud of it. You made it. You made it.
Well, you know how I am. I think in another life I probably would have been a great geek.
That is good. I love it.
But I like
girl geek. We need some more girl geeks.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. What else is going on? Well, I think that's a big milestone. I did not like the other website.
Oh, yeah. We need to do our logo too. We need to
redo our logo. On our Facebook page. Go see what I did on our Facebook page.
All righty then. Let me check.
Tell me, guys, if you guys like it. I added those pictures we took a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got you smiling.
Oh, good. Good. Because that's my best feature, right?
Yeah. You have a beautiful smile, so you should smile all the time.
Thank you.
So,
hey, Mohan, welcome to the Business Zone. Appreciate you logging in.
So, February is Black History Month and African American History Month. Whatever you want to ever call us, as long as you call us in the right name.
As long as you call us for a contract.
But in the right name.
You can call Black people anything you want as long as you call us for a contract. Okay?
So, it basically is a nationwide celebration that calls all Americans to reflect on the significant roles that African Americans have played in shaping the U.S. history. The celebration came about in February. The man behind it, his name is Carter G. Woodson. He considered a pioneer in the study of African American history and is given much of the credit for Black History Month. He was the son of a former slave. He spent his childhood working in coal mines and quarries, and he received his education during a 4-month term that was customary for Black schools at the time. At 19, he taught himself English fundamentals and arithmetic. He entered high school, where he went to college. He finished his 4 years in 2 years, and he earned his master's degree in history from the University of Chicago.
That is amazing.
And later earned a doctorate from Harvard.
That is amazing.
So he was disturbed with the fact that, excuse me, our textbooks ignored our Black population. And in 1926,
take a quick break and come back.
And he believed that the achievements of the Negro properly set forth would crown him as a factor. And so it's interesting, excuse me, that we create our own narratives because everyone is telling our stories.
You got to tell your own story.
And we have to tell our own story. So a reason why we're here on air is to tell the stories that apply to us as a business.
Yes.
I have a cough drop. As a business and as people, because when you really stop to think about the accomplishments that we have made as people, it's phenomenal. We started with absolutely nothing.
That's true.
Straight out of slavery. With no and that's the thing when we talk about today, we can't run our businesses because we don't have capital. But then we have to stop and think about our ancestors.
How did they do it?
They didn't have anything, capital. Right? They had no homes. Here they are, straight out of slavery.
And that's how the barter system got started.
It's exactly.
Because we didn't have money, we didn't have financial resources to start, run, or maintain our business. We had to barter with each other. So, if you had a business consultant that can do management processes within your business, and then there's a little guy around the corner that does bookkeeping, then you would exchange those services.
Right, and we almost need to go back to those ways.
Yeah, we should.
Collaboration
we should.
Is when you don't have one thing, then there are others out there that can complement what you do. We don't have to mistrust ourselves and each other. Because our ancestors used that to their benefit in order to create the wealth that they did have in the early days. It's really important. And one of the things I wanted to talk about that we're going to lead into from Black history, and if you'll put that picture up, is there's a book that I've been reading called The Color of Money, Black Banks and the Racial Wealth Guide. And so this was written by, and she's over at USC. Her name is Maresha Bararan.
Right.
And she's written a book on right out of slavery.
Right.
That money has always been an issue for us, capital. And even when they created banks that were created for us, they really weren't. Right? They still, the Freeman Bank was created for us, but at the same time, it limited monies that would come to us. And then, but it was a promise. So after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1863, the Black community owned less than 1% of the total wealth in America. And more than 150 years later, the number has barely budged. But in between that, you did have Black Wall Street. It was not just Black Wall Street. There were a number of cities that had very similar situations with Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street was so successful that it became a target because it comes down to
it's a threat. There was a threat.
It's
to
a
the
threat,
man.
and in their mind, the ones that were the colonizers we're there to be the service for them.
Hey, Alfred, welcome to the Business Zone.
And so when so it's like a catch-22, right? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Be self-sufficient.
Yeah.
We don't want to support you.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, we go do that.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
Yeah, they try to beat us down or sabotage us or hinder us.
Right.
Yes.
So it's a catch-22.
Right.
So you either want us to be sustainable on our own,
right.
or you don't.
Well, the thing is, they don't really want us to be sustainable on our own. They want us to be sustainable under their policy and procedure. Now, I know this isn't a part of the show. We didn't plan this for today, but I just want to talk about this one amazing African-American back in the 1850s, which is amazing. His name was Stephen Smith.
Okay. Stephen
Smith, an amazing African-American. He grew up as an indentured servant in Pennsylvania. And at the age of 21, he was able to buy his freedom for $50. For $50, he was able to buy his freedom. Now, at that time, he was working in a lumberyard business for the slave master. So when he purchased his freedom, he went out and he started his own lumberyard business. Because most of us who start businesses, we start business because we develop expertise working for someone else in those trades.
Right.
Or field or industry. So that's what he did. That's the only thing he knew was the lumberyard business. So he went out, started his own business, and in 1822 he added coal as well. Coal, the coal added fuel to many homes, so he added that too. Now, in 1850, he was able. So we're talking about the lumberyard business 1822. In 1850. He was grossing about $100,000 a year in annual sales. Now, $100,000 back in 1850 was more than $1 million now. It was equivalent to more than $1 million now.
Right.
So he was pretty rich by that standard. So by 1857, he was worth $500,000, half a million.
Yeah, there's so many of those.
In 1857. Like that. Now, that's unheard of back then for a black person to be generating sales of $500,000.
Actually, and when you and so I'm recommending everybody go get the book The Color of Money, because it talks about. Yes. And then I just recently read a book about the top millionaires that were coming out, and Stephen might have been one of those.
Right.
So what they did was they took their talents and their skills in there, and they created businesses.
Right.
And they could only sell to us.
Right.
Nobody else was buying it, right?
Exactly.
But what I respected out of that for all of these was they were the ones that were supplying for they were abolitionists as well. Yeah. So they were supplying the money.
Yeah. To help with the freedom of others.
The freedom of others.
The freedem fighters.
The freedom fighters. Yes. So they were using their freedom and their money. Yeah. In order to help Harriet Tubman go in and get them and take them through the Underground Railroad.
Right. And that's something that we all as small businesses, whether you're black, Latino, it doesn't matter. You should understand that the concept that when you're suppressed by a system, you got to find ways of getting out of that system, become sustainable and self-sufficient, and be able to provide for your family and others. Right. So that's what this person, Mr. Stephen Smith, did back in the 1820s to 1850s. Now, in 1857, when he was generating revenues of $500,000, which is $500,000, that's equivalent to $13.5 million today.
Right.
So back in 1857, when he was, he was balling.
He was balling.
He was balling. It was worth about $13.5 million.
And remember, and we have to go back to that time frame. So it wasn't like we have today. Even as a free man, he still had to be cautious on what he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
And he couldn't let the world know what he was doing. But at the same time, he wasn't worried about whether he could find capital or not. Mm-hmm. He was using all of the energy.
All of the resources.
Because remember, their resources, our ancestors' resources, was what made the slave owners wealthy. It wasn't through them.
Yeah.
It was through the efforts and the heartaches and the hard work of the slaves that were doing the work.
Right.
So then they just took that. And I think we have to remember that even though we feel we don't have what we have to use everything that we do have, all of our brains and our initiatives.
Plus, we're way advanced. We're way advanced now than our ancestors were back in the 1850s because they didn't have computers. We've got that.
Right.
We've got access to the World Wide Web. So there's no resource out there that we shouldn't be able to obtain through the World Wide Web.
Right. Exactly. Because in fact, there was another guy that was very much like him. His name is A.G. Gaston.
Yeah.
And he's called the Black Titan. And he also was a very wealthy man.
Uh-huh.
So what he did was he sold cemetery plots.
Yeah.
Well, he had a mortuary.
Mm-hmm.
But then he realized,
that's very good insight.
I'm selling them insurance.
That's very good insight right there.
I'm selling them the insurance, and it was like $5 or whatever a month. I'm selling them the insurance.
That's genius.
Now let me sell them the plots.
Yeah, that's genius.
And then he was able to take that money, and then he opened up a bank, and he actually funded black businesses.
That's genius.
And then he also supplied monies he was an abolitionist as well, and he supplied money back in.
Right.
So if you guys read a book called The Black Fortunes, A.G. Gaston, The Making of a Black American Millionaire, you will be blown away. So there was so many more than just Madam C.J. Walker.
Yeah.
There was actually a woman prior to Madam C.J. Walker. Yeah, Birmingham, Alabama. You're absolutely correct, Naja, because I know that's Birmingham is your state. So we have to just look at our history. That's why we have to tell our story.
And our history is our blueprint to success because our history teaches us a lot. It teaches us a lot of things they say history repeats itself, and it really does because it's supposed to repeat itself because it's a blueprint. If it's a blueprint and you're going to use that to build a model, a process, a system, a community, then you should be able to do that over and over and over again.
Right.
That's why history repeats itself, and that's a good thing. So you guys should do that. Now, I want to ask my Facebook and all my listeners out there, I want to ask all of you, what is keeping you back? What is stopping you from succeeding in your business? Is it you? Or is it external interference from others? Tell me. I know it's a combination. Some people are going to say it's a combination, but I want you to tell me, what do you think is stopping you?
No, I think that's an excellent question because my brain as an entrepreneur, and there was a question asked today at the when I was at Edison, and it said, did we think that entrepreneurs were born or were they made? Right. Now, I know in my DNA that entrepreneur gene is there.
Yeah.
Because I don't think in the box. I've always thought out the box. And it's always been very difficult for me to work for people because I do think out of the box.
Yes.
So when I think of doing something, that it is not a why can't I?
Yeah.
It's okay, what are the steps to get me to what I want to do?
Exactly.
That's how you think, right?
Exactly.
You're Jamaican.
Sure.
I come with a whole bunch of jobs.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I don't know what tribe y'all came from, but y'all definitely came from the tribe that there is no one job in any.
And nothing should stop us.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but when you stop to think about it, Gilbert, when you think about your clients, do they think like that?
Not really.
Because they look at what is stopping them, why they can't do. Yeah, I mean, you're running a class right now, right?
Right.
And what's the reception? Is everybody like gun-ho and saying, I can do this? And, oh, wow, thank you, Gilbert. And you can sit there when you're teaching, and I do this all the time, and I can tell the ones that really, because all of a sudden you can see their minds.
Hi, Shanae.
You can see their minds start to click, right?
Yes.
And you go, oh, they got it.
Yeah.
They got it. They've already taken it and they see a big picture.
Right.
And then you look at, but that's only one or two people in a classroom.
Yeah.
And then when you go to look at the rest, you got to really still got to feed it to them.
They're going through the motions. So, Crystal just brought up a very good point. small businesses, and I just want to kind of amplify that a little bit. When you go to a workshop, a seminar, or a webinar, or whatever it is, you're participating. Don't just participate just to participate. You want to participate because, one, you're learning something from it, you're bringing some value to it, and also whatever you're taking away from it, it's going to help you to build your business, build your resources, build your community, build your team and your group.
And don't think of it, so they're thinking of the information that you're providing them on getting contracts is pigeonholed just to that.
Yeah.
No, what you're teaching them is that's a result of,
Yes.
But if you're following all these steps,
Yes.
this is for everything that you do in business, right? Not just to get contracts.
Right.
That's a piece of it.
Exactly.
But it will get you business ready. It'll get you bank loan ready.
Exactly.
And it'll get you contract ready. And it doesn't mean that you stop doing everything you do and just focus on contracts. No. That's here's what we have to look at. And I think what really has to be emphasized to our clients and to our audience is you're optimizing the amount of revenue that you can bring in your business.
Exactly.
And as somebody, Michael Larson from the Urban League said, my new mantra is multiple streams of income. That's what he's calling me, the multiple streams of income girl, because that's what we should be focusing on.
Oh, for sure.
How do we create income coming in from not just, because you can't just have money just be working contracts.
No.
Because money doesn't flow in like that from a contract.
It's going to come from a variety of different ways. You know,
right.
You'll get contracts, you'll get the coaching, you'll get the consulting, you'll get the one-on-one, you get the investments, because when you're in business, you are supposed to invest. So that's another way that you make money.
Right, exactly. And you have to think out of the box. Hey, Tanya, congratulations on your new business. This is one young lady that I'm going to use. She is, 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, and you can correct me. She was, I think, coaching, or I'm not quite sure what business she was in. Now she owns a whole fleet of trucks.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Doing a delivery, I think a FedEx.
We need to bring her in on the show.
Yeah, I want her to come in on the show. She just started this business, and she is just doing
gung-ho.
We have to think out of the box.
She's Jamaican?
Probably. We have to think, and I met her. You're welcome. What is the business that you're doing? Let us know. And we definitely want you on the show. But we have to think, like, what's the next big thing?
Yeah.
And how do we get into that? Because if you go to the bank and say, I want to operate a fleet of trucks that's delivering FedEx packages
shut you down.
or for Amazon, they will give you money if you're talking, I want to become a partner with Amazon.
Oh, in that case.
Yeah, right. So if you come there with something big like that, then they'll see the future. And if you've lined up all your ducks and you've made sure that the resources and the partners and you have a strong business model, now it's worthwhile them investing in you, right?
Right.
So that's something that we last mile delivery. When you order online, my team's one of the many delivering. That's what she did.
Unbelievable.
So how many trucks do you have right now? Because the girl is working, and she's out there working it.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm so proud of her.
More power to you, my Jamaican sister.
So, but that's how we have to look. What's the future of business? What's the future of entrepreneurship?
Right.
And how do we get in it? And how do we do like Stephen Smith?
Yeah.
So he saw there's a new world order.
Right.
So
he saw pain in the marketplace.
She's got 40 trucks.
40. That's unbelievable, man.
And she just started this business a year ago.
That's unbelievable. That's unheard of.
So we have to be thinking like our ancestors.
Yes.
And that's why Black History Month is so important, because they had lots of odds, insurmountable odds they had to, and hurdles and challenges that they had to overcome to make $1 million or $100,000 and $500,000 back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Right? We have this new thing called Google and the internet that creates a possibility, unlimited possibility.
Yeah.
And we can do business globally,
Yeah.
but we have to change our mindset.
Got to change our mindset.
We can't say, I can't do social media. That just doesn't fit for me, because you can't reach those other people.
Yeah.
You and I both know this. We're both looking at, okay, how many people can you actually bring into a class?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the struggle now? It's a struggle to get 25 people in a classroom nowadays.
It is a struggle. Yeah.
So how do you maximize, how do you reach more people without stressing yourself to the place of marketing? And we do a good job marketing.
Yeah, it's going to be online.
So we have to really stop to think. So that's kind of what we were wanting to talk about today, is how our history is our history of our ancestors is our blueprint.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That is right.
Now, when you were in Jamaica, because you could pretty much kind of like in our ancestors, you had to create your own opportunities,
Gotta
right?
create, because there's nothing there.
Right.
And there was no social welfare program to help us along. You don't have a job, you don't eat.
Right, and the cost of living is far greater than here in America.
Super high.
Because gas is like ridiculous.
Yeah,
in
so
Jamaica.
you got to figure out a way how to make things happen. Some numbers we received recently said the unemployment rate is about 40% there in Jamaica.
Wow.
So, people had to feed. They had to eat, and people hustle. And, a lot of us, we bartered. We bartered stuff. We bartered services. We bartered food products. We bartered clothes, furniture, whatever it is to make us survive. Mm-hmm. So in business, we can do the same thing. I just think that a lot of us right now, as small business and entrepreneurs, we try to get over on the next person, and we don't value that person's time, their resources. So we try to get over on them, and so when you're bartering, if you usually sell your product for $20,
right?
When you're bartering, you're trying to jack up the value of the price or product or service to like 50 or 100 when it was only worth 20 if you're getting currency for it.
Right.
So, people need to stop that.
And even when you partner with someone, one feels, let's say one has the money to invest in another business. Yeah. The other person has the product or the service that, okay, you got the money, I got the product and service, let's come together. Right. Well, inevitably, somebody can say, well, I need to take that. If I got the money, I'm going to take the lion's share. Yeah. But this person's tools or system or product has the same value, because the money is useless.
That's it.
Without the product.
We should set up a system like that where we do like a little lab. We get 10 businesses that provide 10 different types of services.
Right.
And they can't sell the service or the product to each other. They got to barter. So that means when they barter, all of them should be better. In 6 months, all of them should be better. Because if I'm a consultant, you're a bookkeeper, you're going to help me with my bookkeeping, and I'm helping you with your consulting.
Exactly.
So we're balanced now.
Yeah.
So all my weaknesses and my deficiencies are supposed to be solved by you and others.
Right.
And vice versa.
And then that way we can create the revenue, because now we're helping each other.
Now we're all solid, all 10 of us.
Right, exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. So, you take I like that idea.
Yes.
You take a incubator. And remember Cecil McLean, he came in. He was been on the show twice.
Yeah, I think I remember.
He's the one with the cryptocurrency, but he has a business that's what it's based upon, kind of a bartering kind of.
Yes.
He talked about that one time when he first came on.
Yes.
We have to talk to him, but I like that idea.
I think that would be a great process.
So if you're a marketer and you have a restaurant and you have a cleaning service, and we help them. It's kind of like a matchmaking service, right? Yeah.
Help each other. So then at the end of the program, everybody is on the same level in terms of their capabilities and their competency, because now they're ready.
Yes.
My bookkeeping is taken care of. Your marketing is taken care of. The management part is taken care of. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So everybody is now ready to collectively go after this big one project.
Right.
So instead of, you getting 200,000, me get 200,000, then we can all go after like $1 million project or $2 million project.
Because now, especially let's say we talk about contracts, right?
Yes.
So our small businesses, that's kind of their subcontractors all built in to this network, right?
Exactly.
You guys tell us, call in at 323-293-3375 and tell us what you think about that idea.
Yes.
That you create this nucleus of individuals that come with different skill sets
and different resources to the table.
The one with the strongest that can actually become the general contractor. And then while you're building and getting yourself together, you guys are working a contract that's supplying you income. So now where you're lacking, that person, you'll be getting paid money for that contract. And find a contract that's 5-10 year period and look at on the other side of that where you will be as a trying to do it by yourself.
Can you imagine how amazing that would be?
That would be awesome.
Man,
that would be.
I think we should take this and run with it, man.
Yeah, that would be something phenomenal. Is showing them up and having and that I call that would be like having a mastermind group of those individuals. Now we could do that, right? We could go out and target. Let's say you looked at some of the general contracts.
So pick a general contractor, for example. So there are different parts to a project. You've got the electrical, you got concrete, drywall, millwork for the windows and counters and all of that. You get all of those guys together. Make sure they're all certified. So all of them, they get certified. Then each one takes care of the other person as to what needs to be done. And then together they go after this project.
They go after that big project. Right. And it would be a huge. So you look at Los Angeles today, and it's going to be building for the next 20, 30 years. Right. So now you're developing so that you can be part of that whole urban planning that's taking place in Los Angeles.
And I want to ask this question to my small biz pros out there in the marketplace. We got about 9 minutes, which we still got to do org chart.
Well, actually, we can take a quick little break because we've been going. You want to do that?
We could just go straight because we only have 8 minutes left. Well,
actually, we're going to 4:15.
Yeah. You want to take a quick break? Okay. So let's take a quick break. But when I come back, I want to tease you guys with this, okay? If you're a small business out there, I want you to start telling me how you think that collectively we can go after, say, a $10 million contract. You can call us at 323-293-3375, 323-293-3375. Let's take a break.
All right.
She's coined a new term for the times we're living in.
Brace for it, parents of America.
Alternative facts. Alternative facts.
What are those? Oh, what? Alternative facts? Lies. Fibs. Also known as stereotypes or false narratives. It's like saying Black history began with slavery. That's offensive. Or that we'll never see another Black president in our lifetime. What about me? This Black History Month, we're focusing on the facts. Not alternative facts. Indisputable. Truth. Real. Black girl magic is real. Black boy joy is real. Black wealth is real. Black beauty is real. Black support is real. Black excellence is real. It's real. Black love, that's real. Black lives are real. I'm real. Black history didn't begin with slavery, and it doesn't end with the Obamas, whom we love and miss. No, really, we really miss you. Facts.
Be back. So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And just before we took a break, we were talking about how do you guys think that you could come together in a group, in a cluster, and provide different resources, barter your services to each other? Not all of it, just some of it. Because I know some people are going to say, hey, I got to pay my bills. I'm not going to barter. That's not what we're saying. We're saying you can barter some of your services to get things done within your business and help somebody else at the same time too. And then together we can go after a bigger contract, maybe $15-20 million contract with a county. Because the county right now has $3.9 billion, and we're just trying to make sure that we get our piece of the pie. So,
and it can be overwhelming if you're looking at doing it by yourself. So I'm sure you hear when you're talking about the contracts, people are thinking, I don't know if I can do that, right?
Yeah.
Even if they're not saying that to you, in their response to what you're teaching them or instructing them, you can see some resistance. And that resistance is fear that, what if I can't do that, right? I don't have all the pieces to make that happen.
And the beauty about this is you're not doing it alone. You've got help, you've got assistance, you got support. So if you were to go after this opportunity by yourself, then yes, you could be afraid because, fear of the unknown. You don't really know what's going to come up, what they're going to ask you, and you may not be able to supply it. So you feel like you failed. But you're going to have additional resources in your corner to help you to go after this. So just want you guys to think about that. So we want to talk also about organizational chart. How many of you guys have an organizational chart? As we know in business, you have to be structured in order for your business to run smoothly. You got to have infrastructure, you got to have system, you got to have processes. Those are things that help us to work and run our business smoothly. So when we need something, we can access it in seconds.
Right.
Your bookkeeper wants your 1099 or your W-9. Do you know where it is? How do you get it to your bookkeeper? Your tax return for the last 7 years. Do you know where that is? Those are part of your infrastructure. So now, with that, you need to have a team. Now, many small businesses are sole proprietors. So as a sole proprietor, you wear all the hats. You wear the red hat, the blue hat, the green hat, the brown hat, the white hat. You wear all of those hats because each one of those hats represent a different task within your business.
It does.
You are the marketing person. You are the outreach person. You're the bookkeeper. You're the CEO. You are the recruiter, the HR person. You're all of that.
So true.
So you got to learn, okay, now that I'm wearing all these hats, how do I structure it so my life is not in the tailspin where I'm doing all of this and I'm bringing in additional resources to help me? So in order to do that, a good way is to have an organizational chart. That organizational chart, it comes in two structures. You got a flat structure. Flat means everyone is on the same level. That would be if you are the jack of all trades. You are the CEO, you're the marketing person, you're the outreach, you're the bookkeeper. That's a flat org chart. That would be you. But your chart, you don't want your chart to look like that. You want to show some level of lineation. That means people, they go up a few steps, and in terms of authority, you've got steps too. So that's what we call the tall chart.
Right.
That's a tall structure. So at the head, you're going to have someone. Who is that someone? Is it the CEO? Is it the chairman? Is it your board of directors? Who is it?
Yeah, right. But what happens if, a lot of our businesses operate because they are one. So if you don't have that internally, again, it comes back to what you were just talking about, right? Creating that structure around your she said, whew, speaking the truth, around these partners that you've created.
Exactly.
Right? So you could create those people in that if you're solopreneur, which is what most of our people
which is
are.
Exactly the point I'm trying to make here.
Right.
So even if you don't have those people working in your organization, once you team up with those individuals, those entities, you can bring them in as part of your org chart. So you have your chairman or your CEO, then you've got your office manager, that person who runs the company, while you're away cutting deals and trying to bring in more business. Then you've got your bookkeeper or accountant.
Right.
You want to have a CPA, someone who reviews your taxes and review your accounting.
Right.
Okay. Then you want to have a business development person. And depending on the kind of business you're in, you may want to have an engineer. You know, if you're in a manufacturing trade where you're touching product and there's quality control and engineering and building, all of those, you need to have those different entities.
Right.
So with that being said, you got to establish a chart within your organization. Now, when you establish your chart is not just going to be for how you look today. Because the way you look today may be just you running around doing all these things. So you don't want to have a flat chart with just you as a CEO, you as a marketing, you as a bookkeeping. No. You want to have a chart with the head, which is a CEO or owner. Then you have someone else below you, which is going to provide oversight when you're not around or if you can't do things.
Right.
So that person's right below you. Then you have business development managers. How many business development managers are you going to need to reach out to business and bring in business? You know, maybe you need 2, maybe you need 3. So you want to have business development managers, and then you put a number 2 or 3 right there.
Right.
Okay. And then after your business development managers, you may want to have an IT person. You always want to have an IT person in your organization. That person takes care of your computers and all of those things. Now, you may be that person right now, but you got to have that slot within your org chart. Now, when we're planning and structuring our business, we're thinking way ahead. We're not just thinking about today. We're thinking, okay, so if we're presented with a contract or a large opportunity from a large contract provider, how are we going to present ourselves so we don't seem so small like a little mom and pop operation? You see what I mean?
Right, exactly.
So that's why you're structuring your org chart that way. So when they see that, okay, this person has a CEO, this person has an office manager, they've got business development people, they've got a bookkeeper or accountant, they've got a marketer, they've got someone who's doing marketing, sales and marketing, you've got your IT, you also want to have legal within your organization. Legal, every business needs some level of attorney or legal for litigation. And one thing that Crystal and I talk about all the time is when you're in business, even though you think this may not happen, someone is going to try to sue you at some point in your business. They're going to try to sue you.
Right.
And you always want to be ready for that. So that's why you want to have legal. So when that happens, your attorney sends them a letter, squash things, or make a phone call or have a sit down with them.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And so a lot of time, but again, that's that entrepreneurial thought processing, and you have to trust people in order to make that happen.
Yes.
But it by not limiting. So for me, I collaborate for that very reason, right?
Yes.
So, because I'm a solopreneur like most people as well, but I do nothing alone. Mm-hmm. I have collaborative partners in every aspect of every business that I do.
Yeah.
The show, you're my collaborative partner. We've done some other business together.
And we've got marketing people.
And we have marketing, and in the digital piece I do, I have a marketing partner so that there's no way you can do all of that. I run nonprofit or our Recycling Black Dollars along with my business partner.
Yeah.
Right. And then I have a whole slew of other people.
Yeah.
That I can reach out to. Resources that if I'm marketing an event, then I have a whole network of people that I've developed. So there's like my org chart, right?
Exactly.
So then I was like, hey, I'm doing this workshop and class.
Yeah.
Can you send it out to your network of people, right?
Yes.
And that's how, when I need taxes done, I don't do taxes, but I do the backup. So then I send that out to my person.
Right.
And then we trade off.
That's
send them business. I'm doing the bookkeeping piece. I don't want to do the tax piece. So I'm going to send that to you.
And also, just because as human beings and businesses, we don't know everything, because we don't know everything, we want to have advisors. We want to have a handful of advisors that can help to advise our business. And that is going to be, you want to strategically pick people from different industry, different areas, different levels who can help you.
Right. Exactly.
Some of these advisors can make a phone call for you. They're an influencer. They can make a phone call to a bank and say, hey, my client or my affiliate that I'm working with, they need a line of credit, 150, 200,000. Can you help them? Or they may say, hey, they're trying to get a meeting with Edison. Can you guys make a phone call?
Right.
Or that person may say, hey, I used to work at Edison. Let me tell you what they look for and how you can position yourself. So when you get in the door, you know how to present yourself.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of advisement you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So,
yeah, because it helps you build this bigger business while you don't have all the resources to do that.
Yeah.
So it's helping you do that. And so you can't look at it, and this is the piece. I never think in a place of suspicion that this person is going to take the business from me.
No.
And I've been doing this. This is not something I just started. I have worked this way since I started
my business. If your business is structured properly, no one can come in and take your business.
Because you're providing a specific service.
Yeah.
And you've created your specific partners, your strategic partners to align with your talents and skills, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not concerned about them and I'm doing the job that I agreed to do.
Yes.
So they don't see me as a threat,
right,
and I don't see them as a threat,
right,
because we're working this together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when we look at us as African American people and how we're going to change the wealth gap, because there's some reports out there by 2053 we will have zero net worth.
That's no good at all. Do you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that, what my co-host just said? My co-host said, so there are reports out there stating that by the year 2053, African Americans will have zero assets, zero resources, zero anything.
Zero anything.
Okay.
And so that's our children.
Right.
050, because it's 2020.
That's your children and your grandkids.
We're not going to be here in 53, in 53 years.
Yes.
We could be very old. We won't be contributing to the economic pool at that point.
So like every one of us in life and in history, what we do and what we do best is when someone tells us we can't do anything, we prove them wrong. So I want you to prove those reports wrong. That there's no way African Americans are going to have zero assets.
I mean, what does that even mean?
I know.
I mean, that's like nothing. No homes, no cars, no
money
jobs,
in the bank.
no money. So we will. Well, that is what we call the second slavery, because you'd have to be living some way. So then someone has to be taking care of you, if you have zero net worth.
Yes. So that's why I want us to pool our resources, think about who we're doing business with, how we can elevate ourselves. And just remember, our ancestors before us, they had it worse than us.
No, they had nothing.
And they had nothing, and they made something out of it. Some of them owned land, acres and acres of land. Some of them started business, just like Mr. Stephen Smith right here that we just talked about. His net worth was $13.5 million. It was 500,000, but it's equivalent to 13.5 million today.
Yeah.
So if they can do it with nothing, we should be able to do it too. And like I say on my previous show, let our ceiling today be the flooring for our kids and grandkids. Okay? Yeah. So the maximum that we can achieve today, that should be the minimum for our kids and our grandkids moving forward.
It has to be. Now, how do we get there? So obviously, listening to our show weekly is a fantastic, because we have lots of stuff, but we're not the only podcasters out there.
Nope.
There are tons of us, and I have a slew of colleagues that are brilliant. So you need to Oh, and we talked about this last week. We talked about acquiring a coach and why a business coach can help you in order to take you to that next level.
Yes.
Because if you can't see it right now, you need someone to help you do that. Then the next thing is we need to expand our library and our information.
Yes.
So that means we need to start reading books. And if you're tired, I don't have... Everybody knows that I am about the most busiest human being on the planet.
But you still read those books?
I listen to books now. I listen to audio. And if you have, here's something for you. If you have a Amazon Prime account, you get a credit a month for an audiobook. That is free.
Oh, wow.
So every month, I download a new book and I listen to it while I'm driving, while I'm just working, if I'm not watching television or whatever. I am listening and grazing.
That is beautiful.
That's how I get my information.
That's how we can grow economic development.
Right. So get yourself some books. And I'm going to put on our new website a list of books that people should be reading. It's also going to be on my social media, my Mitchell Business Solution. There's a number of books that's already on MitchellBusinessSolution.com's website. But start reading. Start getting information. Start with your history. This is a perfect time. We're in Black History Month. Go read. So one book, Black Fortunes by his name is Shamari Wilks, Willis. The Black Titan, A.E.G. Gaston, The Making of a Black Millionaire. Start with those books, and every week I'm going to bring you a new book that you guys, if you don't have time to read, then get Audible and listen to it.
Right.
And we need to also start looking in other areas that's not common to us. How to invest your money. Because your money is not going to come from you working every day.
No.
Your money has to come from either investment properties, which is real estate. So you want to start reading books on how do you acquire the money in order to start buying investment real estate.
Right.
Then you're going to start reading on investment clubs. You want to do that. And then the stock market, because that's where the money comes from. That's how people become wealthy. Right now, understanding how you can go buy penny stocks, which is a penny, literally a penny, and you could buy $100 could buy you 100 shares.
Right.
$500 could buy you 5,000 shares.
And that's a very good point that Crystal brought up. I want to throw this out there and enhance that point too. That as a business owner or as any type of business, whether you're A-class business, B-class, C-class, your Fortune 100 or Fortune 50,000. I want you guys to know this, that money enters your business in 3 ways. Money enters your business 3 ways. One is through sales. Okay? Sales, that's how money comes into your business.
Right.
Another way is through loans and investments.
Right.
So loans, you get a loan, a line of credit, or you have an investment partner. Or the other should be through other investments in properties or other resources. Some people do the stock market, whatever. But those are the 3 ways in which money enter your business. So, with that being said, how are you guys going to go ahead and enhance your business? That's why Crystal been talking about multiple streams of revenues. Multiple streams. Because if you're not getting it enough through sales, you don't really want to go get a loan. So the investment is another lucrative way. And that could be investing in multiple streams of revenue.
Exactly. And investing in other business. So we're coming to the close of our show. Thank you guys so much. Next week, I believe we have MJ Duffy coming back to talk about her book.
The Valentine's Show.
The Valentine's Show. So she's going to come back because she's got her launch of her 3rd book in her series, Defiant Love. So she's already provided it for me. We have a bottle of wine that we're going to give away to our callers like we did her book. So if you're tune in next Friday for a return visit of MJ Duffy, talking about, maybe we'll have her read the stuff that we can read on the air from Defiant Love, and have her talk about the book. But she's having her launch party on March 20, I think it's 24th. We'll get the date for you. And we want you guys to tune in next week. It's been a great show.
Oh, I love this show. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, so next week, another Black History moment.
I hope you guys are garnering at least 1 point from this show today. We're not professing that we know everything. We're not professing that you guys should follow everything we're saying. But we're just saying, just pick one thing, take that one thing and make it better. Make it work for your business.
Exactly.
And this is Black History Month, which we call Black History Year. We want to make sure that you guys are doing something to enhance your business.
Right.
So you can grow your business.
Right. You don't want to be in the same place. We're in February. Come December of 2020, you want to be 5 steps beyond where you were at the end of December 31st, 2019.
Exactly.
So you can go to our new website at www.thebusinesszone with Crystal and Gilbert and check out the new site. Leave us some comments. Go to our social media sites. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We appreciate that. Gilbert's on social media now. He's very active on Facebook. Reach out to Gilbert now.
Thanks to Crystal. She whipped me over the head and kicked me in the butt multiple times and kind of twisted my arm and forced me to learn how to use social media and use it to my advantage.
And I think you're enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it right now. You guys should do the same thing. Don't be too resistant to it, because that's a new wave. That's where business and economy
It's not going anywhere.
is going right now. So check it out. I also want to let you guys know real quickly that my workshop, my next workshop, is this coming Wednesday at the Urban League from 5 to 8. And this time it's about looking at the things you need, giving your business a tune-up. What is it you need to make sure that your business gets you to the next level? You know, do you have your articles of incorporation? Do you have insurance? Do you have certification? Do you have a contract? If you don't, what do you need? Do you have your back office set up right? So that's what we're going to cover.
And we'll see you Tuesday at the Recycling Black Dollars Breakfast Mixer. Come out so you can get our new resource guide hot off the press at Denny's at 8 o'clock on Tuesdays, February 11th. And that's Denny's on Crenshaw and Coliseum. We will see you there. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy Black History Month. And we will see you next Friday.
We're out. Thank you, all my Facebook supporters.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.